Ready to get started. Hey, hey, Ruth. All right. Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Ruth Marquise, your favorite realtor. Welcome to Ruth and Real Estate, Ruth and Real Estate Market Update. How are you? How are you? How are you? Welcome to Ruth and Real Estate, where we break down real estate, whether you need it now or in the future, or you need it in the past. We're here for you. I am your host, Ruth Marquise. And I am your favorite realtor, favorite credit specialist. And on Thursdays, I'm your love negotiator. Licensed in Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Delaware. Hey, Lewis, he says, hey, what's up? Mind over matter. I know that's right. I am in the real estate office. It's like giving me 2009 vibes, where it's like, where y'all at? All right. So, but yeah, we're still selling over here, and we want to educate our buyers, our sellers on what you are actually signing, being as though I was muted on some platforms because I was going through the contract. I am going to be a little more general today. Okay. So if you want to know what's in these contracts, if you want to know what's so, uh, hush, hush, we don't want everybody to know. Pay attention, pay attention. This is part 3. Okay. He says, yep, how real estate paperwork. Yep, absolutely. Thank you for sharing as well. Share this video. Make sure you like this video. Hit that so that YouTube knows to push my content out there. If you have not subscribed to our channel, Ruth Marquise Group is the real estate page, and Ruth Marquise is the page where you can get the relationship show. So please don't forget. Now, think about it. If I am willing to go through the contract, I ain't trying to get in trouble, but if I'm willing to go through LEM so you can know what you're so that you will know what you're getting yourself into, or how this process works. A lot of things you sign, a lot of things you do that you are not aware of as a consumer. Yes, there are protection laws and there are things, but it's only when things go to the left that you realize, hold on, I didn't know everything that I should have known. Okay. If you're on here, say hi. I would love to hear your feedback, your comments. Guys, what do you guys think about the real estate market right now? Yes. Okay. So just remember, for those of you guys who are worried about rates, yes, those mortgage payments are looking ridiculous, but I am hearing whispers that they're going to drop the rate. Like right when it's convenient for them, they're going to drop the rate. So what you want to do, and prices are stabilizing right now. So if or they're going down, but not at they're not going to go down like you want them to go down. Like real estate is slower than the stock market. Okay, so like next year you'll see something, right? But once that is done with, once we are done with this horrible rate rate hike, right? The when it goes back down, those prices are going to go back up, and then now your income is going to dictate whether you can buy that house or not. So things are going to go right back. I've seen it go back. I was in here 2009. I ain't going nowhere. I'm doubling down. What's up? What's going on? This is your favorite realtor, Marquise. Let's go. He says, greetings. IYO house the inventory. What does IYO stand for? Bring your own house? Yes. In your opinion, house the inventory? Oh, okay. Yeah, so is that in your opinion? The inventory, I thought the inventory was going up, but honestly, it's still, I think as more homes come on the market, well, there's that seasonal fluctuation. All of y'all buyers and sellers that don't want to sell around the holidays. Boo! Boo! right? Like that would be the best time to sell it because it's like your house look nice, it smells good all the time, you decorated it, but people just kind of let it die down. Then January never fails to get the phone calls like, I'm ready to buy a house, I'm this and that, right? And never fails in January and February, and then March when that income tax hit, they ready, right? When that weather starts to break, uh, is NAR a good thing for newbies real estate? The National Association of Realtors, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So I, they have good information, even though they have to change the information when everything changed, but yeah, that's a trusted resource. That's the best we got, pretty much. That's the best we got. National Association of Realtors now. They lied to us. That's like the meat industry lied to you. What you gonna do? You can't do nothing about it. All right. We're gonna get to the contracts, but thank you guys for bearing with me the last 2 weeks. We had the holidays, and last week my baby was sick, so I couldn't be here. But just remember, every week around 4 p.m., unless it changes in the future, and the schedule is liable to change, but Tuesday is going to be the day for real estate. Wednesday is going to be the day for money, and Thursday is going to be the day for the relationships. All right, let's get started. Without further ado, our topic of the day is the contract. All right, so after this, I promise no more contracts for a while. But let's finish what we start. He says, what's up with the agreement to sell too? Yes, we got it. This is it. Agreement to sell is the contract that you sign when you're putting the offer in. Now, I always got a story time. Remember the days I was talking about last week? I just had an incident where buyer goes on vacation. It never fails. The only time we don't make our time is when the buyer goes on vacation without telling your realtor. If you go on vacation, please tell your realtor so that way they can make sure you're on time with things, because now you can't get repairs done because you missed your deadline. They're not going to care that whatever your reason is, they're not going to care. Okay? That's just real estate. So that's what the contract is for. All right. So if you know your contract, you know that, hey, today's the day. Time is of the essence. We got to get it done. There's no excuses in real estate. All right. So here we go. Let me give y'all this real quick. If you guys can't see, you can head on over to Ruth Marquise Group on Facebook. It's there as well. All right. Today we're going through the contract. All right, here we go. If seller is unable to give good market, okay, so where we left off was we were talking about title. Okay, I don't even know if we finished title. I think we stopped right at the inspections. Let's just act like we didn't do it. Just because I'm a thorough person, thorough like that. I think this bottom part, Instagram, we will be cutting off, so you guys can go check it out on Facebook or YouTube. Actually, go check it out on YouTube. With Marquise Group. All right, MARQUIS. Title, surveys, and costs within blank days without being specified. All right, so for my real estate agents, if you don't put these numbers in, they're going to go by this number next to it. So 7 days. If you leave it blank, it's going to go 7 days. I just had a deal where she's supposed to be more vet than me, and she's talking about the check is due in 5 days. No, ma'am. Sorry. No, it's not. It's not due no 5 days. I'm the one that got to bring the check. It ain't due 5 days. Did you read the contract? I said, let me go. I did a kind of, I said, let me double check, because I believe it's 7 days. And guess what? My buyer needed that 2 extra days. They were out of town. So make sure as a listing agent that you go back and make sure and no changes were done. And those numbers were not put in, because you're allowed to put those numbers in that contract. Okay. He said, what's the contract between title and deed to? Title is the actually getting the deed. That is the title search is in order to get the deed in your hand. The deed is the ownership of the home. So seller signs the deed. So the buyer pays for the title search to make sure that there's no liens. I just had another deal where we had to make sure that before they got into their investing contract, that she really owns the property. And she had to go and do all of these steps. And I said, if you didn't go and do all of these steps, which I'm the one that sent you to go do it, then you would be falsely selling this house and everybody would be screwed and everybody would have been sued. Screwed and sued, okay? And that's what happens when you're trying to do things without a real estate agent, without somebody there to guide you on the proper steps. So it's very important to get, thank you for sharing. It's very important to get title insurance. All right. And if the seller pays for title insurance, the seller can choose the title company, but usually buyer pays for title insurance. Okay, here we go. Within 7 days, so we're talking about title now. Here we go. Buyer will order from a reputable title company to deliver to seller a comprehensive title report to the property. You have to have an experienced license. Well, obviously, you have a licensed real estate agent, but if they don't know to order title, then you should not be doing business with them. But yeah, title will be ordered day one with us because as soon as contracts are signed, it's ordered. Okay, so that's needs to happen. You can't sell the house without that being done. If you have a mortgage, all right, especially if you have a mortgage, I should say. Buyer is encouraged to obtain. We're gonna just do like the first 2 lines. I'm not gonna read it word for word. Our buyer is encouraged to obtain an owner's title policy to protect buyer. The owner's title policy is different from the lender's title insurance policy. That's when you get to settlement and those papers look similar, but they're different. Some is for the lender and some is for the title company, which will not protect the buyer from claims in the text on the title. Owner's title insurance policies come with standard and enhanced versions. Buyer should consult with title insurance agent about buyer's options. Okay, so we should always select extended. You want to get full protection on your title insurance, but just think the bank is not going to protect you. C, buyer will pay for the following: title search, title insurance, mechanic lien insurance, flood insurance, appraisal fees, buyer's customary settlement costs and accruals. That tells you right there and see what the buyer has to pay. And so if you don't know, then you're like, what am I supposed to be paying for? What's this money for? What's that money for? It's telling you right there in paragraph C. That's 14C. 14D, any survey or surveys required by title insurance or abstracting company for preparing adequate legal description of the property will be obtained for and paid for by the seller. All right, surveys, okay, that's required by the title of company for preparing. And so if the title company comes back and say, hey, we need a survey done because we're not exactly clear on this legal description. So we got to go pay for a survey. Who paying for the survey? Seller's paying for the survey. Okay, this is going to be a cloud until it's done. The property will be conveyed with good and marketable title that is insurable by a reputable title insurance company at regular rates, free and clear of all liens, encumbrances, easements, except for existing. So the title company will cover everything up until this existing deed restrictions, historic, like, so any of these, the title company like, we out. Like, we can't cover this because here's what happens, right? The title company, right? You're paying them so that if anything happens, he said, yeah, Def got to listen to advice. Thanks. You're paying the title company so that if anything happens, right, the title company has to pay out money. They don't want to pay out money, right? Title insurance, meaning insuring good title. If something happens, if they didn't do their due diligence, oops, that's on the title company. You're taking liability off yourself and putting it onto the title company. So title company, if something is not going well, if something is not done by the time settlement happens, I just had this one on one of my settlements where something was going on with the water meter and they withhold 4 times the amount of the bill And because they were going to sell the home and they didn't have solid numbers for the bill. So anything over that, the title company was going to have to eat that. So the title company padded it. The sellers over there upset, like, I can't believe we had to pay this much money, this and then the third, just because they won't give us the bill. But so what? You want to sell the property, and they're going to hold this in escrow until this is resolved, and then they will release the money back. Okay, these are all the protections and all the things that's happening with the title company. They're crossing every T and dotting every I. They're doing their due diligence. Is error E&O insurance necessary at this stage? E&O insurance is for the agent. So you have to keep paying that with your broker, and that is something that you pay. I think we pay per transaction per month. It gets expensive like on your own. So if you're with a big brokerage, it's cheaper. But yeah, they take it out. Okay. Yeah. That helps to protect from lawsuits, but I heard that it doesn't really protect. Like it doesn't 100% protect the agent. I think it protects but we have E&O insurance. Okay. All right. I'm just saying. I was like, what? We need another shot? Anyway, I gotta look into that. Let's move forward. So as you can see, they are not going to cover some things. They're not going to cover some things like historic stuff, right? If they see certain things, they're like, not insurable, can't do it. So like if it has like restrictive covenants, like no black people can live here, yeah, they're like, we out. Privileges or rights of public service companies. So if the utility company wants to come in, if there's easement of record, if there's easement visible upon the ground, certain things, they're just gonna be like, look, we're gonna cover it, but we can't cover X, Y, Z. All right. If a change in the seller's financial status affects the seller to the ability to convey the property on or before settlement date or any extension, then the seller shall notify the buyer in writing. Okay, that means if you got bankruptcy, foreclosure, public tax sale, they got to give it to you in writing, the seller. They got something for the buyer too. Don't worry, it's coming. All right, if seller is unable to give good marketable title that is insured by the reputable title insurance company at regular rates, buyer may terminate, and all deposit monies, right, will go back. Title's not done, not able to do it, like the seller cannot meet their part of the title requirements, conditions, then the buyer's deposit monies returned back. Oil, gas, mineral, or other rights of this property have been previously conveyed or leased. The seller makes no representation about the status of those rights unless indicated elsewhere. Right? So then, right, if they leased the mineral rights, right? Like let's say under the ground, this is under the ground, they leased it. I've seen somebody like with a apartment complex, and they leased it over to a phone company, their air rights to make some money because I think what happened was because due to the pandemic, people were not paying their rent, so they found a way to make some money. And if that be the case, you would click this, and then every time you click something like that and it's bold, you see this form right here that will have to be attached to it. Okay. Cold notice. This document may not sell, transfer, include, insure the title of coal or rights under and rights of support underneath the surface land described. Complete right, okay, of such coal may have the owner or owners of such coal may have the complete legal right to remove all coal and then connection. Damage may result to soft surface of the land, any house on such land. Okay, buyer acknowledges that he may not be obtaining the right of protection against subsidence resulting from coal mining operations. Okay. The next one is private transfer fee addendum. The private transfer fee. Okay, this property is not subject to a private transfer fee unless obligated. If it is, then you put it there. So it says notices. What I love about the contract is that it tells you what everything is. So in Pennsylvania, private transfer fees are defined and regulated in the Private Transfer Fee Obligation Act, which defines that fee as a fee that is payable upon the transfer or an interest in real property or payable for the right to make or accept the transfer. If the obligation to the fee runs with the title, regardless of the fee or charge, is a fixed amount, determined percentage, private transfer fee. Is not properly recorded, existed, and act gives certain rights and protections to buyers. Payable for the right to make or accept. Yeah, we don't do private transfer fees, so yeah. By the way, it's been a long time since I read this, but I did read it. Notices, assessments, like so. If anything's different, they'll put it right here. It's not subject unless right here. So if they say, hey, we have a private transfer fee, it's going to be right here. That's when you go into it. They have to, the sellers have to disclose the existence of the fees. So if there is such a fee, that has to be in this part of the contract. So what I would say to buyers, agents is when you get this contract, okay, this is where your offer is going to come from, right? The main document in your offer is going to be the agreement to sell. Make sure you look at all the blank lines to see if there are any changes being made. This right here, you can ignore this like line in 5 days that's already typed in. But if you see like a box and words written in a box, then that is like a change to the normal way of things. It may not be anything bad, but it just says like, hey, this is something to look at. Redlining, steering, blockbusting, good lord, all titles filed downtown in public record. Yes, and you have everybody has access to. Let's say if you want to see what's going on with the title of a property, yeah, you have that access. So they assume that you have constructive notice, meaning that you go and do your due diligence and you find out what's going on with the property. But when you actually look at it, it's called actual notice. Don't ask me how I know. They don't know that, but I know that. Actual notice is when you actually put your eyes on it and you read it and you went downtown and you got these documents. So everything is public record. All right. Notices, assessments, and municipal requirements. Okay. And in the event any notices of public or private assessment, okay, like excluding assessed value, are received after seller has signed this agreement before settlement. Like, okay, so something comes in from the public or private assessments, right? They get something in the mail. This is what needs to happen from the seller's side. Okay, they fully comply with the notices at the seller's expense before settlement. If seller fully complies with the notice of settlement, buyer accepts it and agrees to release paragraph 28. They keep talking about this. Oh, I said last time you got to paragraph 28, and then that was too slow. Oh, okay, this is the release. And then it says buyer releases quit claims forever, discharges seller, all broker, their licensees, employees, and any office or partner of any of them or any person, firm, or corporation who may be liable by or through them from any and all claims, losses, and demands. Right? So just basically, this is the release. Every time we're talking about a release, like, hey, you can't sue us. They're referring to paragraph 28, and that's what paragraph 28 says. Alrighty. So we did that. So 15. So basically, so they can comply or they can terminate it. And they say, you know what? I don't like the change that was made. They can terminate it. If buyer fails to respond within the time says or fails to terminate the agreement, buyer will accept the property. So they have to accept it and agree. And that will be it for today. So, you guys have any questions? No? Okay. So, with that being said, that is it for today. Thank you guys for watching. We will hit this again soon. And thank you so much for watching. Ruth and Real Estate, Ruth and Real Estate, Market Update. Bye.